This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Warriors and Locked On 49ers postcast as well. But today, the Giants finally won a game against the San Diego Padres in 2025, a 6-5 victory at Oracle Park tonight. And man, when is the parade down Market Street? We finally got more than 4 runs in a game. I feel like we need to send personal thank you notes to everybody who participated in this offensive eruption by Giant standards tonight. And although 6 runs doesn't constitute an offensive eruption for most teams, it does for this team, who has not scored more than 4 runs in a game since the middle of May before tonight. Kyle Harrison was pretty shaky, but the bullpen did a fantastic job of shutting down the San Diego Padres bats. A ton of lineup shakeups and new faces we got to break down, but ultimately it was the 3 horses that really led the Giants to this win. Matt Chapman, Heliot Ramos, and Jung Hoo Lee were all key cogs in the 6-run effort. We'll break it all down, but first I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed, and thanks for listening however you're tuning in. We appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, does a great job. And first off, I need to apologize that we did not have a show last night. Fully intended on it, went out to the yard and had a lot of thoughts on what I saw after last night's game that were not very good thoughts, but there were some huge delays on Muni getting home last night, and didn't make it home till damn near midnight. So we did not have a show last night because it took me like 2.5 hours to get home from the yard, which is absolutely wild. But I digress. Today, the Giants, what a win by this team. I mean, I was very discouraged after what I saw last night and what I saw from game 1 of this 4-game series, and from what I saw when this game started. Like, the Giants fell behind early on in this one. And I mean, the Padres had a 5-0 lead at one point, and it just felt like that this was just going to be just like any other day. As soon as they passed that 4-run threshold, in my mind, I was like, there's no way the Giants are gonna come back and win this game. Absolutely no chance. Kyle Harrison looked like home run Harry tonight, not like Kyle Harrison tonight. He looked like his alter ego, who was just giving up hard contact left and right and all over the place. Kyle Harrison, more than 2 times through the order, not something I really enjoy seeing. We in his first outing of the season as a starting pitcher, he was all right. He only went through the order twice, though. When he gets that 3rd time through the order, it's usually where he runs into some problems. We saw the same thing out of him last year. Nothing he's done this year has shown me any kind of indication that that's going to change. So I still have some reservations about him as a starting pitcher. We'll get into his day a little bit later, but let's start right now with the turning point from tonight's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And for me, the turning point, you could pick a lot of moments from this game, but for me, the turning point was that Heliot Ramos double in the 7th inning when the Giants really, really, really needed another big hit with a bunch of runners on base, and Ramos delivered, man, smacked that double, a top spinning ball out to left field that if he had just gotten under that thing, it would have been a grand salami. But it worked out just the same for the Giants, because that double off the wall scored 2 runs, tied the game up at 5 runs apiece after Matt Chapman had blasted a 2-run shot in the 6th inning to cut the lead to just 5-3 for the Padres. And that set up a situation for Jung Hoo Lee to hit the sac fly to score the game, the go-ahead run, which ended up being the game-winning run in this one. And that was Heliot Ramos' 12th double of the season. Hit that one 106 miles an hour. So he got all of that one. Just hit it on a line, man, with a bunch of top spin. So did not have the juice to get out of Oracle Park. And as I said, Jung Hoo Lee, the sac fly to score Tyler Fitzgerald from 3rd base. And that whole situation was set up because of some of the new guys in the mix, specifically Daniel Johnson, who also had a very, very, very big moment later on in this game when he robbed, and I mean absolutely robbed, a surefire hit later on in this one. But I mean, it was a great situation to see Daniel Johnson come out and actually contribute to this win. He had a couple hits in this one, and that play that he made out in right center field in the ninth inning when Luis Arraez gave one a ride out there and Tatis was on first. I mean, that saved a run because Tatis runs really well, and I would bet that he would score on that play if Johnson wasn't able to get to that ball. And then it's a tie game. We go back to extras. Who knows what would have happened at that point? So really good to see this guy who, I mean, I was shocked, honestly, when I saw Daniel Johnson get the call up earlier. And let's just go over the move. First of all, it was Daniel Johnson getting called up because Lamont Wade Jr. DFA'd, and a few other moves. Koss goes down to AAA, and Sam Huff DFA'd as well by the San Francisco Giants. And you had a couple other corresponding moves. You had Dom Smith get signed, and we'll get into him a little bit later on. And Sean Jelly also was called up as Jordan Hicks hit the IL. So a lot of moves for the Giants, a lot of shakeup here. And we saw nearly all of these guys, play big parts in today's game. Dom Smith, as I said, he was batting fifth today, and I thought that was pretty interesting to have a guy just walk off the street and be inserted into the smack dab middle of this order. But that kind of shows you where the San Francisco Giants are at right now. And then you have Daniel Johnson, who I was kind of shocked that he was the outfielder to get called up because Matos, I know they want him to play every day, so it makes sense that he's down in AAA where he can play every single day. But I was kind of surprised it wasn't Grant McCray. I mean, Grant McCray is a guy that I've really liked since last season. He was a guy who was fine with that kind of platoon role that he played last year, and I thought he played pretty well. He showed a little bit of pop, something that a lot of people didn't think he had. He showed that he had a little bit more power than was assumed about him based on his wiry frame. He played great defense. But honestly, tonight, after what I saw from Daniel Johnson, I'm okay with it. I mean, his hits weren't like light the world on fire hits, but he had two of them. You saw him getting on base twice. When's the last time Mike Yastrzemski, who normally mans right field, had two hits in a game? It's been quite a while since Yaz has had two hits in a game. And to top it off with that play that he made, which Kipe compared to Gregor Blanco, making that running, diving catch in the Matt Cain perfect game. I'm not going to say that Johnson's catch was of that level because, based on the situation with Blanco's catch, there's no way that those two can be on the same level, but it was still a very huge play. It absolutely kept this game as a 1-run lead for the Giants, which was very, very, very key in this one. And it was nice to see some contribution from the farm. I'm glad that the Giants were able to get this one, because honestly, if they didn't win this game, I would have been expecting a sweep tomorrow. And it gets you your first win of the season against the Padres, which is it's needed, because this is a team that you're probably going to be battling for a wild card spot at the end of the season. You need to have, you got to keep yourself in contention for having that tiebreaker. And you drop the first 4 games of the season to the Padres. You can't make it 5 in a row to the same team, especially a division rival. You have to be able to get over that hump, because you don't want that mentality lingering that you just can't get one over on these guys. So the Giants pick up a much needed win. They ended up being able to finally get to Nick Pivetta. Of course, we remember Nick Pivetta from the last time the Giants and Padres played, when Pat Bailey was kind of stealing some signs, and Pivetta was not too happy about it down in San Diego. But they get to him today. Didn't need Pat Bailey stealing the signs to do it. They scored 5 runs off of him in his 6 innings of work, had 6 hits also. So they got to Pivetta, and he's actually been very good this year, 3.16 ERA. And the Giants obviously had a lot of problems with him the last time they faced the Padres. So that's a good sign. And the bullpen, man, the bullpen was really, really, really good today. We'll talk about the bullpen specifically and a little bit about Kyle Harrison next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track your accounts, investments, and spending all in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. It comes with all sorts of surprising insights. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. It also comes with all-in-one convenience. Instead of juggling multiple apps, You can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. And it gives you easy collaboration. Managing your money with your partner is now smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, and stay on the same page without all that stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB, half off your first year. And today's show is also sponsored by Supply House. Get the supplies you need from the site that's made for the skilled trades. Supply House, whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is jam-packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage, and now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5, that's SH5, for 5% off your first order. Supplyhouse.com. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. Today, the Giants finally get a win, 6-5 over the San Diego Padres. They get 4 hits with runners in scoring position in one game. I feel like I'm dreaming, man. 4 for 10. They only leave 4 runners on base. This was a dramatic offensive improvement, and I don't think that it's a coincidence that this came on the heels of this big shakeup. You DFA Lamont Wade Jr., which I will say, like, we kind of glossed over it earlier in the show. I liked Lamont like as like a vibe guy for the Giants. You know, he was a fun story. He was always like a positive energy in the clubhouse. But it was time, man. It was time. Like, I'm sad that his tenure had to end like that here, but there was no other way for it to end at this point. I mean, the Giants had basically no other option. This guy has been one of the worst players in all of Major League Baseball. He's tied for second worst WAR in all of baseball with -1.1. He's already essentially lost the Giants more than one game this season. There's no way you could have kept him on the roster. He has just been, I mean, he's not very good on defense. He's not bad, but he's not great. Doesn't give you much as a defensive first baseman. And obviously the bat is just a liability at this point, and he can't play any other position because of all the lower body injuries he's sustained the last few years. So this was the only way out for Lamont Wade Jr. and the Giants. And I wish him well. I hope that he has continued success somewhere else. It just wasn't working out here anymore. So I'm bummed that it had to go the way that it did, but I'm also glad that the Giants made a move. Instead of just sitting there and resting on their laurels, they went out and did something, although it is a pretty small potatoes move. But I'm telling you right now, I'm pretty sure this is what you're gonna get. Like, I've been banging the drum for Rhys Hoskins, and there's a couple other first basemen out there in the trade market, maybe like a Carlos Santana. But I don't think the Giants are really going to do much, if I'm being honest. I don't think that since that third wild card has been added, that most teams are willing to sell. That's just not something that most teams are going to want to do. So the Giants are this is probably the best move they're going to be able to make in attempt at getting a bat over there at first base. They go out and get Dom Smith. And now I don't hate the move, but I certainly am not like over the moon about it. He's had a nice AAA so far this year. I mean, he's batting .255 in AAA with 28 RBI and 8 home runs. Like, that's nice, but I mean, this is a career 4A player. He's the same thing as Encarnacion, as Gerard Encarnacion. I mean, if you're relying on a guy like this to save you, that's not a good sign. Dom Smith has a career WAR of 0.9. His career on base percentage, just .313, and his slugging just barely over 400 at 403. OPS right around 700. Batting average 246. Like, he's about as middle of the pack gets. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because middle of the pack would be a dramatic upgrade over what the Giants have had at first base this season for the most part. But ultimately, this guy isn't going to come in and save your season. No, I mean, if you're relying on that or Gerard Encarnacion, who, as we said, the Giants went out and picked him up out of the Oaxacan League last season, like there's nobody down there that's going to just come into Major League Baseball and just set the world on fire. That's not how it works. You don't get to do that anymore in today's day and age with all the international scouting that occurs. Like most of those players are, or if not all of those players, are already in the big leagues. I mean, you're not just going to go find someone off the scrap heap and just have them be an all-star. That's very rare in this. I mean, it's not going to happen with Dom Smith. Like I would like for it to, but it's not going to happen. So the Giants need something from everybody else who's on this current roster. And I just want to point out a couple things before we get into these pitchers from today, because I do want to get into that before we run out of time here on the show. But Heliot Ramos, batting .343 since May 1st, 37 hits, 7 home runs, 20 RBI, and 17 runs scored. I mean, it's very, very, very good. And I mean, ultimately, since in today's game, he adds on to that a little bit more with that double, with those extra 2 RBI. So he had a very, very, very good game. And Matt Chapman also with that 2-run bomb. In his last 10 games, Chappie batting .324, 11 hits, and now he has 2 home runs, an RBI, 3 runs scored, and in his prior 10 games leading up to this one. So both of those guys in the middle of the order really impacted today's game. And when you have, I've been saying this all year, when you have like 2 or 3 of these Giants bats that are the kind of the key cogs, the guys that you're relying on going at the same time, this offense actually looks halfway competent. Heliot Ramos, Jung Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, all getting going at the same time will be a big boost for the San Francisco Giants. Wilmer Flores, if he can kind of wind back the clock to last month, that would be great. He has not been playing super well lately, although not much we can complain about with Flores with all the RBIs he's had this season. I think he gets can have a little bit of a break. It's Willy Adames who is kind of the lost one in this situation. He's still batting just 200, sitting right down there at 201 OPS, barely over 600. He's really got to turn it around, man. But for today, before we get into the pitchers, I want to give out a player of the game before we move on to Kyle Harrison and the bullpen.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And I thought of a couple different guys, but I want to give it to Daniel Johnson, man. His first game with the Giants this season, and this guy, he delivered, man. I mean, he had a couple hits. He had that huge catch in right center field in the 9th inning to preserve this as a 1-run lead. Without him making that play, we might still be playing baseball. So shout out Daniel Johnson. Great 2025 debut for him. And with that, let's get into the Giants pitching staff today real quickly, because Kyle Harrison was bad. He was not very good, man. That third time through the order, just zero confidence in Kyle Harrison. Only 4.1 innings pitched and gave up 9 hits in those 4 1/3. 5 runs, man. Only 3 strikeouts for Harrison. His ERA balloons to 4.34 on the season. So again, this is nothing new. He's had trouble going through the order multiple times in his career. This is pretty much the same thing we saw from him last season. Kyle Harrison is pretty solid through the first 2, 3, 4 innings when he only has to face that same when he only has to face everybody, once or twice. He's solid. It's once guys start getting a beat on that fastball, it can sail, and he loves to live high in the zone with that 4-seamer, and you're going to get tattooed every now and again when you're living up there, when you can't blow it by people. And tonight was one of those nights where he wasn't really blowing it by anybody, only 3 strikeouts. So not a very good night for Kyle Harrison. But Sean Jelly picked him up, man. 2 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 0 runs, 0 hits. Shout out Sean Jelly, the big giant out there on the bump. He was very good, picks up his first win of the season. Tyler Rogers was also pretty good today. Ryan Walker, a little bit of an adventure there in the 9th inning, gave up a couple hits. Randy Rodriguez comes in to save the day. And man, I don't know why Ryan Walker is the backup closer still. If Camilo Doval's not available, give me Randy Rodriguez 10 times out of 10 times. Like, Randy Rodriguez has been one of the best relievers, not just in this Giants bullpen, but in all of Major League Baseball this season. He's got a .66 ERA. Came into this situation again, runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs, doesn't care, gets a strikeout, shuts the door, game over, let's go home. Randy Rodriguez is, for my money right now, he's the best arm in the Giants bullpen. I would not hate if by the end of the year, he was the Giants closer. He has been so damn good, and he's fun to watch pitch, man. He's got this electric slider. He's obviously got a ton of velocity on that fastball. and he locates really well. When he needs a strikeout, he can get it. I love watching Randy out there on the bump, and I hope that he continues to get these opportunities. He has absolutely deserved it. Before we get on out of here, we got to get into what you'll be talking about after this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And what you'll be talking about is, can the Giants somehow find a way to win tomorrow and salvage this series? If they can split this series against the Padres, I think this could, I've been saying this a lot lately, but maybe it could be a turning point for this Giants team. Like a big win, like a win tonight, where you kind of get that monkey off your back of not being able to score more than 4 runs. You punch through the glass ceiling. Maybe it gives you a little bit of a lift to win tomorrow and to continue riding that momentum, because things aren't going to get very easy in the next couple weeks. You got the Braves coming next. Then you get the Rockies, which is hopefully an opportunity to pick up a couple wins and right whatever wrongs have been going on. But then you get the Dodgers. So you want to heat up before that Dodgers series. It obviously means a little more because it's the Dodgers, and it's a division game, but it is only one series. So hopefully the Giants are able to kind of get some momentum going from this win, turn it into a win tomorrow and split this series against the Padres. Would feel a lot better about a 2-2 split than a 3-1 series loss, personally. So it's about all the time that we have for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. Big win tonight. Giants win 6-5 over the Padres. This felt like a big win, the way that the offense scored. And I'm really glad that we were able to do a happy show for once. I feel like I've been coming on here just yelling the last few days because the Giants been pissing me off, man. But I mean, today we're all happy. We're all smiles. 6-5 win. Giants get 8 hits and score 6 runs. It's a good day to be a Giants fan. That's all the time that we got for you guys today. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll be live tomorrow after the Giants take on the Padres. Day game tomorrow, so make sure you're ready for that one and tuned in to the Locked On Giants postcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.